hundreds of kilometres and hours to be here today, some of you just leaving Sydney in the rain to be here today, is because governments, this current Labor government and also the previous coalition government, has let mining companies ruin your farmland, wreck your environment, pollute your waterways, ruin your health, mine under your rivers. Enough is enough with mining companies in New South Wales. This is the start of a movement of environmentalists and farmers and communities and doctors and people from all walks of life coming together to fight the coal and gas companies in New South Wales. Now the thing is we shouldn't have to fight the coal and gas companies. We should not have to fight them. That is what the government is there to do, surely. But no, what we've seen is, at least over the last 16 years, but before that as well, with the Fayette government and Greiner coalition governments, a wholesale New South Wales is open for business, ladies and gentlemen, and you can pretty much go where you want with your coal mines, with your gas mines, with your exploration licences. This is absolutely outrageous, and it is why you are all here today. We need to stand up to these companies, and you are. And I know we'll hear a little bit from Drew Hutton at the other end about the people in Tara who are blockading their properties right now against these companies, and that will happen in New South Wales as well, as it should.
According to the Australian Government's own National Water Commission position paper of December 2010, look it up on the web. Look this position paper up on the web. It is the federal government's position that until the risks of significant long-term and adverse impacts on adjacent surface and groundwater systems are understood, adequately managed and regulated, it should be refused. It was passed unanimously. This position paper states that the risks are not understood. This is the federal government. The precautionary principles should be adhered to, and that due caution is a high priority. I'd like to say, be constructive in your protests and be well informed. Keep up the debate. Come and visit Gloucester, experience a beautiful valley and passionate community, and weep at the lack of courage, the lack of moral conviction, the lack of honesty and the lack of transparency that passes for governance in this state of New South Wales. Stay motivated, stay committed, uphold community democracy, and above all, the only resources that should be harvested are those that give us a sustainable food and water supply, sustainable green energy alternatives, and the right to a productive, healthy and low-carbon future now and for all generations to come. And what will you do in good conscience, Mr O'Farrell?
Primary vote keeps falling lower and lower and lower. They should look at protests like this and understand that we are losing our faith in them. If they're not prepared to address issues like this, and if they want us to come back, they are going to have to make some tough decisions and tackle an issue like this and listen to the community.
It's really good to be here. I'm representing the Scenic Hills Association, which you've probably never heard of because we're from southwest Sydney. We're on the margins. We're that part of Sydney where people can be dumped, where public housing is a really large proportion of the housing in certain parts, where people live isolated, unemployed people, a lot of strugglers, a lot of battlers out our way. And you think, therefore, to be an easy sort of place to dump something like a coal seam gas mine, or 72 of them, which is the present suggestion from our friends at AGL. We have fought AGL previously, and it looked like we won, but maybe they're being sneakier than we ever imagined. They look at you in the eye, they smile at you, and they lie through their teeth. And they will be so polite, so nice, so really keen to hear what you have to say, so that they can assure you that whatever it is, there's no need to worry at all. So what does AGL do? They come in under state significance legislation so that as a public utility they can mine and extract gas. It's the industrialisation of an area that really has significant remnant Cumberland Plain bushland. It has the Mount Annan Botanical Gardens. It has significance from an Aboriginal point of view as well, in that it is the centre of an area called the Yendelra, the land of peace between nations, where Aboriginals, once a generation from as far south as Melbourne to as far north as Maroochydore, would gather to define the law, to resolve conflict. It was a sacred place. Now it's a mine. We believe that our land is valuable for agricultural purposes and needs to be kept, for scenic purposes, because the land is sacred. But also mostly, and what I'm concerned about, is the people that it affects. The people of southwest Sydney who have for too long been taken for granted and been put down.
The voice of mine-affected communities is having an impact. In the lead up to this election, all of the major parties have made concessions on mining and gas, but the fight is not over. The fight is only just beginning. Labor and the Coalition have both said that they would embark on a strategic planning process to determine which areas will be off limits to mining and gas exploration and extraction. But this movement will determine where those areas are. We will not be hosed down. The shift in policy of both of the major parties in the lead up to this election is a testament to the tenacity and commitment of mine-affected communities and gas-affected communities across this state. It is a testament to the solidarity between farmers, environmentalists and local communities on this issue. Organisations like the Farmers Association have been in the negotiating rooms fighting the good fight to protect farmland and water resources in New South Wales. This movement is essential to securing real change when we have a new government following the election this month.